A new bill aims to help judges better understand the impact of domestic violence on victims. State Representative Ana Maria Ramos, Senator Carol Alvarado, and the Minaret Foundation have filed House Bill 1475 along with a Senate companion bill. Joining us to talk more about this and what it means is Zain Pleuthner with the Minaret Foundation. Good morning, Zain. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Talk to us a little bit about the bill. Legislation speak can sometimes be confusing. What is this one aimed at doing?
Well, this one is not confusing. Right now, we've got a system in place where judges have to take a certain number of classes before they ascend to the bench. And these are district court judges, county court judges, all judges in the state of Texas. They currently have to take about 12 hours of classes. What this bill does is it adds domestic violence training to the list of classes, to the number of hours that they have to take. And this is going to do a lot to help victims and survivors of domestic violence who are often in their courtrooms.
Why is this training needed? Why does the Minaret Foundation, along with others who are advocates, think that this better training is necessary?
Yeah. Well, the Minaret Foundation is a Muslim-based organization. We look for opportunities to partner with other religions, and one of the things that we noticed we could really do is help victims of domestic violence. Domestic violence is not limited to Islam or Christianity. It's not socio-demographic limited. It's not ethnically limited. And we recognize that a lot of these people, they're not just in family law or criminal courtrooms. They're in probate courts, they're in civil courts, they're in traffic courts. And so if we can give judges the tools to recognize the signs that somebody is dealing with domestic violence, then we can empower them to save that person.
Can you talk to me a little bit about that toolbox? I know that it'll come through the training, but what exactly does a judge need to better understand?
Yeah, so there are different signs that a judge can look for, and one of them is as simple as, you know, I'll give you an example. We had, we were working with a woman, I'm not going to give any information, and she was cited for speeding. And when she got pulled into the traffic court, her spouse was sitting a couple rows behind her in the gallery. And the reason that she was speeding is because she was trying to actually flee and get away from him. And so if that judge had recognized the signs, and it's something as simple as just fidgeting, looking behind her, asked her to come up to the bench, asked her to approach, asked a couple of questions, that could have gone, I mean, it could have gone leaps and bounds to protecting her.
Mm-hmm. Social interactions, maybe cues that small social cues that people sometimes pick up on. What can the public do in order to help this bill hopefully go through?
Yeah, well, there's a lot the public can do. First of all, Minaret Foundation, it's 2023, we're on all the socials, so we can be followed quite easily. Senator Carol Alvarado out of Houston and Representative Maria Ramos out of Dallas, these are the two legislators who have the bill. Write to them, and then write to your own legislator, your own rep, your own state senator. And then third, find your local domestic violence women's shelter and support them. And, you know, you really do support this bill by supporting women who are victims.
Mm-hmm. And if there is somebody out there who perhaps is a victim of domestic violence or suspects that there is domestic violence, is there somewhere they can go to ask for help?
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing is obviously 911 and calling the police, calling on social services, but even if you were to call the Minaret Foundation, we would be able to provide the support that they needed.
Help is always available. Zain Pleuthner with the Minaret Foundation. Zain, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.